Good morning, students. In today's class, I will explain some simple C++ programs based on the concept that you have learned so far. In our previous class, we discussed about different looping statements or looping structures in C++. C++ supports three statements as looping statements, namely while loop, do while loop, and for loop. Out of these three loops, while loop and for loop are considered as pre-tested loop or entry control loop, while do while loop is a post-tested loop. We also learned their general syntax and with some simple example of looping statements. The main objective of today's class to illustrate how C++ program can be written. At the end of today's class, you will be able to use the C++ operators and also how to use different control structures in C++ for programming purpose. The first one is finding the largest and second largest among three numbers. So this is your practical program also. So this program is included in the lab program cycle. So in C++, the comment lines are written with two slashes, but the original C comment line slash star and ending with star slash is applicable for C++ also. You can use that comment also in C++, but C++ has one unique comment line called any line starting with the symbol double slash is considered as the entire line is treated as a comment line. The difference between the comment lines of C++ and the comment syntax of C++ is in C++, the comment line of C slash star ending with star slash, we can use it when the comment line consisting of more than one line. But slash double slash should be used for each line. So this is a single line comment entry and slash star is a multi-line comment entry. So in every program, you are using cin, cout for basic input output. So hash include iostream.h because that contains the description of cin, cout, insertion operator, extraction operator, etc. In hash include io manip dash. In your program, if you're using any of the manipulator, that is required. And last one is hash include conio.h because in this program, I'm using two library function. One is getch, another one is clrsr because those two functions are available in conio.h. So this program is to find the largest and second largest among three numbers. So three numbers are A, B, C. So these are the three input variables. Big is to store the biggest among three numbers, and small is a variable that is used to store the smallest among three numbers, and S big is a variable that is used to store the second biggest or second largest among three numbers. CLRSR clears the screen. Cout enter three numbers end line. Then a message appears on your monitor indicating enter three number. Then cin A, B, C. So at this point, the user is supposed to enter three different values, and the first value entered will be assigned to A, second value is assigned to B, and the third value is assigned to C. To start with, we don't know which is the largest, which is the smallest, and which is the second largest also. So we assume that biggest and the smallest, both of them are equal to the first number is A. So to start with, we'll assume that A is the biggest and also A is the smallest also. Next, you compare the second number. If B value is greater than the big, in that case, the biggest will be B. If C is greater than that big, then the biggest value will be C. So these two if section gives you the biggest among three numbers. Like that, you determine the smallest among three numbers also. If B is less than small, because to start with, you assume A is the smallest. So if B is less than that one means the small will be the B. And C is less than small B, the small will be C. So these two if statements determine the smallest among three number, and these two if statements determine the biggest among three number. So now the biggest among three number is stored in the variable big. The smallest among three variable is stored in the variable small. Next one is what you do is you find the sum of three numbers. For example, the three numbers are 20, 30, 10. So A is 20, B is 30, and C is 10. So this logic gives the biggest and the smallest. So 20, 30, 10 means the biggest will be 30 and the smallest will be 10. So big stores the value 30 and small stores the value 10. So one over leftover number is 20. Next, You find the sum of all these three numbers. 20 plus 30 plus 10. How much? 60 minus big. Big will be 30, small will be 10. So 30 plus 10, 40. Sum will be 60 minus sum of big and small will be 40. 60 minus 40, that gives you 20. So yes, big stores the second biggest among the three numbers. So the variable big is used to store the biggest of three number. Small is used to store the smallest among three number. And once you get the biggest and the smallest, you add all the three numbers together, subtract the biggest and the smallest, then the remaining answer will be the second biggest only. That will be assigned to the variable yes big. Now this line, a equal to print the value of a, b equal to print the value of b, c equal to print the value of c. So in this line, you are printing the values of input variable. The second line, biggest equal to the value, the variable big, and second biggest equal to yes big, because yes big now stores the second biggest among three number. Get cs mean unless and until you press the enter key. Once you press the enter key, automatically the cursor goes to the editor part. The second one is, this is also your practical program. Find the area of geometric shape, circle, rectangle, and triangle. So whenever you are writing any program, first we should have some analysis. What is the input and what is the output, you should know. We know that area of circle, the formula is area equal to pi r square. So here pi is a constant, r is a variable. Then naturally a also becomes a variable. Next, area of the rectangle is length into breadth, and the area of triangle is half into base into height. So you should know these three formula to determine the respective areas. So in the case of circle, the formula is a equal to pi r square. So pi is a constant, r is a variable. So first you define iostream dot h, conia dot h, then define a constant, has defined pi 3.14, then float r. So this is a variable which stores the radius. A circle is the variable used to store the area of the circle. Similarly, for rectangle, the formula is length into breadth. So L is to store the length of the rectangle, and B is to store the breadth of the rectangle, and A rect is to store the area of the rectangle. Next, for triangle, it is half into base into height, because already I have used the variable called B for to store the breadth of rectangle. In that case, I am using a different variable called BA. BA is to store the base of the triangle, and H is to store the altitude or height of the triangle. A tri is a variable store the variable is a variable which stores the area of the triangle. So for circle, the variable is r, the input variable is r, and the output variable is a circle. For rectangle, the input variables are length and breadth, and the output variable is a rect. For triangle, the input variables are BA and H, and the output variable is a tri. First, we calculate the area of the circle. The formula is a equal to pi r square. Already the pi value is defined using hash define statement. Then the other input is enter the radius of the circle, enter the value for r. You give whatever value for radius, that will be stored in the variable called r. Then a circle equal to pi into r into r. So this formula calculates the area of the circle, then display them. Radius equal to the value of r end line, and area of the circle equal to a circle end line. So these two lines is to display both input and output variables. Let's move on to the second geometric shape, rectangle. We know that the rectangle has length and breadth. So area is length into breadth. So input is L and B, and output is A rect. So first enter the length and breadth of the rectangle. C in length L and B. A rect equal to L into B. Now display the length of the rectangle equal to L, breadth equal to B. And next line, see out area of the rectangle equal to A rect. So the first line display the input variable, and the second line display the output variable. The output in the case of rectangle will be A rect. Third one is to find the area of the triangle. You know the formula for area of the triangle is half into base into height. So base, the variable we have used is BA, and height we have used the variable H. So input the C means for input. Input the value for BA and H. A tri, that's the variable to store the area of the triangle, equal to half. Half means 0.5 into base into H. Why it is written as 0.5 means, because instead of that we can write 1 by 2 into BA into H. 1 is integer, 2 is also integer. When you write 1 by 2, both numerator and denominators are integer means the fractional part is automatically truncated. When the fractional part is truncated, 0.5 becomes only 0. It will take only 0. 0 into BA into H will be 0 only. Your A tri becomes 0. That's the reason I have used 0.5. Now what happens is this becomes a float value. Then display the result. Base of the triangle equal to BA, height of the triangle equal to HA, and area of the triangle equal to A trie. So this is a simple program which illustrates how arithmetic operators are used. So in this program, I have used which are the arithmetic operators I have used? I have used division, multiplication, and assignment operator. The last one is to print the multiplication table of numbers from m to n. So m is the lower limit and n is the upper limit. For example, for m if you give 5 and for n if you give 10, then what happens is it prints the multiplication table of all the number from 5 to 10. 5 into 1 equal to 5, 5 into 2 equal to 10, 5 into 3 equal to 15, like that. 6 into 1 equal to 6, 6 into 2 equal to 12, like that. You print 5 multiplication table, one for 5, next one is for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you can use any value for m and any value for n. Suppose m equal to 2 and n equal to 10 means it prints all the multiplication table from 2 to 10. So these two are the header files. Next, m is a lower limit, n is a upper limit. So from which number to which number you want the multiplication table, you decide. I and j is a loop control variable. Enter the limit m greater than n. Next, any table, how many rows are there? 10 rows. First one is, suppose m value is 5 means 5 into 1, 5 into 2, 5 into 3, 5 into 4, 5 into, like the 10 rows are there. For that one, use a variable, loop variable called j loop. For j equal to 1, j less than or equal to 10, j plus plus. And the second loop is, you want the number multiplication table from which number to which number. So for that one, you take I variable, I loop control variable I. So another for loop you use it. For I equals to 1, I less than or equal to n, I plus plus. You take one simple example. Suppose m value is 3 and n value is 5. In that case, what happens there? First, I varies from 3 to 5. Now, I first time it is 3 into j value. J value is 1. 3 into 1 equal to 3. Then I becomes 4. 4 into 1 equal to 4. Then 5 into 1 equal to 5. So in the first row, you would get 3 into 1 equal to 3. 4 into 1 equal to 4, 5 into 1 equal to 5. Next, automatically, j takes the second value equal to 2. So now what j value 2 becomes 2 means. Then what happens? Again, m starts from 3 only, and n starts from up to n. Suppose m value is 3 and n value is 5 means again 3 into 2, 4 into 2, 5 into 2. Next, j becomes 3. In the third row, I'll get 3 into 3, 4 into 3, 5 into 3. Next, j become 4. Then 3 into 4, 4 into 4, 5 into 4. So in this program, the purpose is to illustrate how loops can be nested. So here I have taken two loops, one called j loop, which is an outer loop. The other loop is I loop, which is an inner loop. So two loops are nested. So in this program, also illustrates how loops can be used, how nested loops can be used, and how arithmetic operators can be used. The previous example is to illustrate arithmetic operator and assignment operator. And the first program is to illustrate conditional statements in C++. So altogether, I have explained 3 different programs illustrating 3 different concepts. The first one is to illustrate how if statement can be used. The second program is to illustrate how arithmetic operators can be used. And the third program is to illustrate how looping statement can be used. That too, how loops can be nested. So based on the concept we have learned so far we have learned what? All the operators in C++, arithmetic, relational, logical, bitwise, all the operators we have learned. We have learned different forms of conditional statement like if statement, if else statement, nested if else ladder, switch statement, etc. We also learned the different types of looping statement. So based on the concept we have learned, I have framed some exercises also. Write a C++ program to reverse a given number and find the sum of the digits in the number. So for this program, either we can make use of while loop or we can make use of do while loop. If you already, I think, studied this program in C language, but now the thing is you have to convert that program into C++, making use of C++ syntax. Write a C++ program to find the sum of n natural number. So I know that formula to find the sum of n natural number is equal to s equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus dot 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 up to n. So for this program, I have to take the variable n for the upper limit and s to store the sum, and you can use one for loop I. So n, I, and s are equal. Next, write a C++ program to check whether a given number is prime or not. I think no need to explain the logic for prime number, but these things are already taught in your C programming. But just thing is you have to convert that one into a C++ program. Write a C++ program to print Pythagoras triplet from 1 to 1000. What do you mean by Pythagoras triplet? Suppose you take two numbers, 2, 3, 4. In that case, what happens is you take the square of all these three numbers. 2 square plus 3 square. 2 square is 4. 3 square is 9. 3 plus 4 plus 9 is 13. But 4 square is 16. So that is not a Pythagoras triplet. Next, you take another three number. 3, 4, 5. 3 square, 9. Plus 4 square, 16. 5 square, 25. So 16 plus 9 is equal to, so such a three numbers whose square of one number equal to sum of the squares of other two numbers, such three triplets, we call it as a Pythagoras triplet. Like that, you identify which are all the Pythagoras triplets from 1 to 1000. So in this case, you have to take three loops. For I equals to, I will explain a little bit logic also. For I equals to 1, I less than or equal to 1000, I plus plus, open the brace. For j equal to 1, j less than or equal to 1000, j plus plus. Next, another loop. For k equal to 1, k less than or equal to 1000, k plus plus. How to check whether it's a Pythagoras triplet or not? I square plus j square. If I into I plus j into j equal to k into k, that could be one possibility. Or if I into I equal to j into j plus k into k, that is another possibility. Or I square equal to j square plus k square, or j square equal to I square plus k square, or k square equal to I square plus h square. If any one of these conditions is true, mean then see out I, j, k, and n. You print the values of I, j, k, like that. Then next value I becomes j becomes outermost loop is I loop, next loop is j loop, next loop is k loop. All the three loops you vary the values from 1 to 1000. In that case, you will print all the Pythagoras triplet from 1 to 1000. So based on this system, you can try some other exercise also. Write a program in C++ to solve a given quadratic equation using switch statement. So there, in that program, there are three possibilities. If the discriminant value is 0, the roots are equal. So one possibility, case value equal to 1. If the discriminant is positive, in that case, discriminant, the roots are real and distinct. If the discriminant is negative, the roots are imaginary. So that program, either you can write it using if statement, you can also write it using switch statement. So I request you to make an attempt to solve the 4 exercise problem given, because when you more the program you try to solve, you will be getting more information and you will getting more experience on writing the program. You will become good programmers. Thank you.